Hey everybody, and welcome back to Attingham Park in our second redo, however you want to call it. We're down here at the biogas plant, and I thought, what the hey, let's try to do a little gameplay based on how the map is supposed to be started on a new farmer mode. So at the end of yesterday's first look video, we mowed this field, went ahead and raked the field, and now we're collecting our grass. We're going to see how much grass we get off this field. Two, we're going to maybe get a general idea of maybe how much we might be able to make as far as per silage processing, and then give you a clue of how many times you have to cycle this thing before you'd be able to move up and move out of the biogas plant. Ravenhawk, Sammy Boy, what is up? And Luis Hernandez there with chat number 1. How are you guys doing today? We're also able to do a little bit of pre-release testing on the silage bunker, see if it bleeds out the side or anything. Well, not with the pre-release version. It is a Massey Ferguson BGA. That's right, this map is made to work hard. This map is not made for your faint of heart, those looking for fast cash. Will Minio Bro 4 plays. How are you doing today? I mean, just getting turned around in this bunker is a little bit of a challenge. Welcome to the pre-show, everybody. If you're new to the channel, we do a 10-minute pre-show to warm the stream up and well, give folks plenty of time to show up so they don't miss too much of the fun and excitement. And a little hint, all of this equipment is leased, so you can't even sell it at the start to get a little bit of a bankroll working. Ryan, how are you doing today? It's a beautiful map. I do like its scenic views, its visuals. Not being from the UK, all I have to go from as far as reference are other UK-based maps. I feel it goes right along the lines as all those maps and its visual appeal. Kalish Farms, welcome to the stream. Another surprise midday stream for everybody. Those that might be in the UK, it is, what, early evening? Not too late for you to still catch the stream. Well, you can breed animals in any map. There are no custom animal types, so there's nothing special about the animals, but you breed animals in every map. Oh, you were meaning it's 5 minutes to 7. I was thinking 5 to 7. I'm like, wait, I didn't think the UK crossed time zones. Like, what does 5 to 7 mean? 98 days, 5 hours, and 4 minutes, indeed. I actually realized last night that my counter was off by a day, so I had to fix it. I think he did really great work with the lane here. Grass down the middle. That'd be an interesting geography quiz. How many countries have multiple time zones versus countries that do not? Coming from the US, of course, we have multiple time zones. How many time zones? That's your question. How many time zones does the US have? So we do have a little bit of seepage over here on the left side as we pile it up. Chris says 4. I'd have to look. It's either 4 or 5. Did you factor in Alaska? And if you factored in Alaska, did you factor in Hawaii? So we have, within the continental US, we have Eastern, Central, Mountain, and West, right? So that's 4. Now, what I don't know is if Alaska falls within the West Coast or if it's out by itself because it's further west. And Hawaii definitely has its own time zone. We used to have a company that we dealt with that was based in Hawaii, and I tell you, that was fun getting connected to sales or support from Hawaii, from the East Coast. I think we had about 1 hour to 2 hours of actual time where our working times actually crossed. It was late in our day, which was early in their day. Like, we had to call like 4 p.m. and it was like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. for them. Oh, Cranky, what are you saying here? In FS22, I don't think there are any change. There one change in graphic. And from 4 RAM to 8 RAM. What? Are you talking about? Oh, the minimum settings. Okay, we'll talk about that once we get this stream started. 3, 2, 1. Well, let's just get this started. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Attingham Park. Map soon to be released by GBModding. Expected to be released for all platforms over at the Giants Mod Hub. We are doing a little gameplay video today, trying out the new farmer start mode of basically owning the biogas plant, using leased equipment, and seeing if we can make a go of it. How is everybody doing today? Sean McKee, Farming Simulator 19, how you doing today? So before we get too far into this video is brought to you by Steve Sanford. Thank you for being a farm baron. So we were starting to talk a little bit about the minimum requirements for FS22 as compared to FS19. And overall, I think they are pretty much very similar. The move to 8 gigs of RAM is probably partially just the overall fact that, 8 gigs is the new 4 gigs. Way back when, 4 gigs was the new 1 gig. Now, FS22 will be using DirectX 12. It will have some enhanced performance aspects as a result of using DX12. So it may definitely use more RAM as a result of that. It also has a lot of performance improvements, like texture streaming. So unlike FS19, so when you load a map up in Farm Sim 19, it loads every texture into graphical memory. That would be every ground texture, building texture, foliage texture, texture for placeable buildings, texture for vehicles. Everything is loaded into graphical memory before you need it. And then it's just referenced from there. So you can really run into performance issues if you have systems with low graphical memory, or you have maps that require a fair bit of graphical memory to store those textures. GBModding, welcome to the stream. Man of the hour right there. Map author of 6 Ashes and Attingham Park. In FS22, they're going to be using texture streaming, which means that only textures you need are going to be loaded into GPU memory. So textures that are on buildings that are on the other side of the map that you can't see aren't going to be loaded into your memory. So it means you can get better performance by using less GPU memory. It also means you can have higher quality textures that do get loaded in because, well, you're loading less stuff in at any one point in time. So it is my belief that FS22 will play better than FS19 does on the same hardware. But how much better, that is yet to be seen. Cranky, yes, you can indeed use a joystick. In fact, that's what I'm using right now to pan the camera around and zoom in and out, is a joystick on the side panel, the heavy equipment bundle side panel. I know some folks that use 2 joysticks for pretty much everything in FS, including driving. So they have 1 joystick that they use for throttle, 1 joystick they use for steering, and then they have all the buttons mapped to do all the various other controls. So yeah, on PC you've got all kinds of controller options You've got wheels, pedals, joysticks, side panels, button boxes, keyboard, mouse, Xbox controller. I assume if you could plug a Sony controller in, if it recognized it, you could use that too. How you doing, Eric? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, we were doing a little trivia in the pre-show. For anybody that may be late, how many time zones are in the United States? I don't think we've firmly established the answer yet. After I thought about it a little bit more, I think I've changed my answer. So yeah, if you're coming from console to PC, the freedom and the various things you can do with PC for Farm Sim is astronomically more freedom. Life of a freelancer. Well, you know what? There are lots of benefits also to being a freelancer, right? Exactly as you described. You couldn't work Thursday for whatever reason, maybe health related, maybe you had family things going on or other things, and you can kind of make up your hours on a weekend, work late. So Daniel's saying 6. Chris said 4 earlier. I'm gonna say 6 now myself. So I don't know the names of the time zones, but we have 4 time zones in the continental United States: Eastern, Central, Mountain, and Pacific. Then we have the time zone for Alaska. I don't know what time zone that is. We'll call that Alaska time zone. And then we have the time zone for Hawaii, the Ultra Pacific time zone. Of course, as a freelancer, you've got less consistency. Possibly, there's a risk. That's what I need to say. There's always more risk associated. Or there can be more risk. A lot of people just think 4 because they forget about Alaska and Hawaii. What I didn't know without looking it up was if Alaska was close enough to basically get lumped in with the Pacific time zone or not. Well, Chris, that's some information that GBModding provided, yes. So Giants has a testing tool that modders can run their mod through, and the testing tool tries to estimate slot count. Now, that's an estimate. It's not guaranteed. Because I asked Giants one day, I was like, can you guys put the slot count on the Mod Hub listings? Because as a PC player, I don't know how many slots something takes. I don't have a way of looking it up because there's no such thing exposed to PC players. And from time to time we get asked how many slots. I would like to be able to mention that. And they gave some blah, 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 blah answer. I didn't really trust what they said because it was sounding more like they were just whining. It'd be too much work. Blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. So, modders do have the ability to get a little bit of an estimate based on the testing tool. And then the file that GBModding gave us has a bunch of other slot count listings for a lot of the various placeables and other things that are built into the map. So I think what you really have to do is kind of add them all up to really have a good idea of maybe what the approximate slot count will be. But I haven't done that math, so I would say, I don't know, maybe it might be around 500, maybe 525. Of course, I guess if you return the leased equipment, you would lower your slot count, but then you'd have to buy something else, right? I think we were talking about this last night when we were on Susquehanna River Valley about slot counts and console players. That ultimately you all play the game a lot different than PC players do because of the slot count. A lot of times your decision on what mods to use or what equipment to use is governed on maybe what else you already have or what slot count something might take as opposed to how much it costs or how well it works. I think they've mentioned that slot counts will exist in console, but they seem to be a little coy in answering exactly stuff because I think maybe they don't know until they ship stuff off to console manufacturers maybe. But it sounds like PS5 and Xbox One X and S might have different slots than PS4 and Xbox One. So it sounds like maybe there's going to be a PS4 version of the game with one slot count burnt in, a PS5 version of the game with maybe a different slot count burnt in, because we do know that they both have different amounts of memory already built into them. And of course, we won't know for sure until FS22 comes out. Oh, that would be interesting. Ken, that would be interesting for sure. Now, I have to say that might play into mounting issues. You know, if it's got a big side on it. The current side panel has a big clamp, so really it can clamp to just about any table or desk surface. Once you start getting bigger, you know, if you have a big armrest, then I know for my location, where I have to put mine, probably wouldn't be overly desirable. Paul Nadon Jr., what is up? So let's see. So is Farm Sim, is this map difficult to run? Let's unlock the frames. And we're rocking 110, over 100 frames. Now I'm running a 1440p monitor. So we're using a bit higher monitor than maybe some will run at 1080. This is a 2080 Super. And we've got all our settings cranked to the max. And of course I'm streaming off the same machine, so. I would think if 6 Ashes ran good for you, then this map would run good for you too. So we got the PDA, of course. Lots of big fields. Now, I went ahead and bought everything, so we don't have the ability to run contracts at the moment. There's our sleep trigger, and you can buy and sell the sleep trigger. It is included. Oh, wait, before we do that, let's get a little sense of the nighttime lighting around the map. Wants to see what this map looks like all lit up. So this is where we start your gameplay in front of the hotel. I don't know why, but I really like this. I really like this. What is this? The Attingham Park Gate. I don't know why, I just really like seeing that. Let's see what this place looks up, lit up. Not all the houses are lit up, not all of the lights are lit up. That's pretty cool. Welcome to the stream. Lalo Hernandez, welcome to the stream. We're just checking out the evening lighting, nighttime lighting on the map. I really like this area. I first saw this area coming off the river. So we've got a an old water wheel here along the river. And we come up to kind of an industrial park. Sweet potato sell point. Oops. The old water mill. Let's get geared up. Go in the right direction. 6 ashes. That's right. Once you reminded yourself, you're like, oh. I am doing mighty fine. How are you doing today? Make our way over to the other town, and then we'll fast forward to morning. Got nice ambient sounds. Got some cricket sounds going on in the background. That was the Miss Holland's sell point that mentioned. Oh, here we are, look. We're bumping along the map edge there a little bit. Street lighting. Yep, everything looks great. And this is an interesting touch. Where are we at? Here we are. This is a really fun touch. We have, oh, that's interesting. We have cows over here at the animal dealer, and they are real animated cows. really cool feature there. And I like what you did. I like what he did is with basically giving them way like massive amounts of food, so that if you play with seasons, they won't die off. There was a map that Will was doing. It was the island map that Raz is doing his playthrough on, and Will had set up so that there were horses at a horse pen. But if you played with seasons, the horses died because, of course, they didn't have food or water. But the way that this was done here on the map, I think that would really have allowed those horses to remain until you bought them. There we go. Eric, I guess you're asking about if the map would support like Maze Plus or mods like that. Diablo del Toro, welcome to the stream. If GBModding's around, maybe he can comment on how many fight types he's put into the map. I know I fired it up with Seasons and Straw Harvest, and it didn't have any issue. Oh, thank you so much, Diablo del Toro. We might be streaming Susquehanna River Valley tonight. I've got to see what the weather looks like after it changes to the next game day, which probably isn't going to happen for another 2.5 hours. I want to see if it's still raining or if the grass is dry. Well, that's okay. I'll jump in a little bit later. Everything was topped off before I left last night, so they should be good. Yeah, the starting gameplay mode is pretty interesting on this. So yeah, the manure mod, multi-terrain angle. So technically we're working on the console version. Sure, we'll try that. We'll paint some ground. So we've got yeah, I think we're back where we started. Yep. All right, so we've got our kind of our pig mud, I guess. We've got some concrete. We've got some just some mud with tracks. Some white concrete. Just some dirt. Stone. Floor or forest floor, paintable grass, gravel. I guess dirt with tire tracks on it. Then we have like a brushed, worn or concrete, river rock, and then back to our mud, pig mud. Anybody have any other questions? Just never hesitate to ask. We'll try to address any questions you have. Anything you want to see. We do have a little seepage over here on the side. Back is good. The right side. Can't really see the right side. Yeah, the kind of the used concrete. Worn down concrete a little bit. You can really, you know, paint up a yard, modify a yard, make it look like it's been there for a while. Do like this. I like this entrance. I like the entrance to the biogas plant. Just gives it a nice feel. So I'll give you all a heads up. Next Sunday is, guess what? Guess what next Sunday is? Next Sunday is August 22nd. That means it is the very first Farm Sim 22 giveaway that we're going to be doing on the channel. We're going to be giving away one copy of Farm Sim 22 on the 22nd of every month between now and November 22nd. Details will be coming up on how to enter. I'm trying to decide if we do an entry like during stream, or if we do a some other sort of entry and we just pull a name on those given days. I got to figure it out. Yes, it will be for PC because I don't really have a clue how to acquire a Xbox or PS5 version that wouldn't require me shipping it somewhere, and well, I'd rather not pay for shipping. Hey, at least this used equipment. We're already down to a quarter tank. Got to keep an eye on that. Yeah, I think GBModding, I think I heard other map makers talk about that. Based on, of course, how the Giants engine works with basically a grid. Chris, this is definitely a tight BGA. Come in here and work your way around these tanks. Your dump station is here, and that has a gate that you can lift up. We've already raised that up. And of course, this has collision on the hedge, so you can't really cheat through the hedge. Turning radius of the trailer and tractor are just a wee bit smaller or larger than the bunker is wide. So far we've got 230,000 liters in here. That's from one cut. Got a little bit more to get. Eric, we don't really know yet. We don't know that level of detail. I think we have seen a few in-cab shots, but nothing that would maybe hint to that level of detail. GoldenEye, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Well, it also means that you have to size your equipment appropriately. If you can't get it through the gate, then you can't get it in the field. Well, thank you very much, Eric. I'm glad that I can make your working day go a little bit quicker. Makes my day go by a little quicker too, right? Next thing you know, 2 hours have gone and you're like, what? What have we done with ourselves? So we can expect 260,000 liters per load, looks like. Well, maybe someone should try to do a speed run on this map when it comes out. Right, that'd be interesting. We're not gonna bother with trying to compact that. That would get boring fast. Let's harvest. Everything is ready to harvest. All right, pick a field. Pick a field. We're gonna do field one. Field one is wheat. I tell you to pick a field and then I pick one for you. That's the way we do things around here. Oh, we are millionaires. Give me some moolah. Which one switch? Which one switch? Which one switch? Which one switch? $12.30. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Let's buy the biggest harvester and the biggest header in game. Can we get it out? you people insane? Oh, please. Please, Giants. Please make every header trailer do this in FS22. Ooh, pop right in place. Why they don't do that, I do not know. Tight but manageable. Oh, look at this. Get out of my way. Alright, so we've got our shop icon. Then our maintenance trigger is inside of here. Look at that. Look at that, people. The maintenance shop trigger is at the maintenance shop. Yeah, field 16 is the biggest. I mean, field 15 is pretty dang big too. Well, at least you didn't put potatoes in field 16. What is it? Oh, it's corn. We got the wrong header for corn. Oh. It's back there. Oh, maybe we can get to it from here. Nope. Oh, maybe. 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 Nice. Look at that. Question. Looks like I can. I think I can. That's a little tight, but ta-da! Magic. Magic happens. I really liked in FS22 when they did the gameplay footage. They showed the harvester. The stuff coming out of the back of the harvester looked really nice. corn. Let's go look. Looks pretty standard to me. I don't know. The standard crop textures. Oh, we talked about this last stream, but man, these buildings are nice. And they're different. I mean, we've got two buildings right here that are basically the same building, just have a different front on them. But we also have completely different treatment on the yards. So we've got just kind of a normal yard here. These people need to pay for yard care. And we've got this house with a nice brick wall around it. And then we've got a completely different brick wall at this house. Again, it's the same house, just a different texture. Makes it look like a completely different house. Then down here, we've got the same house, different texture again, but now we have a hedge in front with a gate. And then we move over here to this house, a different house, but now we've got just unmanaged hedge. These people need to trim their hedge. They're bringing property values down on the whole block. So yeah, just nice variation in how everything looks. So everything's not just cookie cutter. You can go a long way of making it feel legit. Vincent, what is up? Welcome to the stream. These guys want me to harvest field 16, which is the biggest field on the map. I mean, it's only 72 acres, 25 hectares. I tell you what, I'll let you guys experience 16 all by yourself for the first time. I don't want to ruin it for you. I want you to be the first to experience 16. All right, we're gonna need a trailer. Let's go with the trans space. And we're gonna need something fun to haul it with. Like so. I mean, it's a green dealer. We gotta buy green equipment. Yeah, Eric, that's one of the things, right? With PC gaming, you can have really different visual experiences depending on your settings. Yeah, your view distances and such. We've got this set max view distances, so you know we can really see way out there. Actually, at this point, we're seeing all the way across the map. Depending on your settings, you may or may not have that same view. Oh, look, this is where Mr. GBModding lives. There you go. You ever wonder where GBModding lives? Well, he lives right there, right off of Attingham Park Drive. This operate. Oh. Oh. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is cool. Oh. Helps if you hook it up. Let's see here. I wonder if we can get to that field from this way. So there's the field. No. That's the road we were looking at. Just drive up on that fence. Sneaky. We're gonna have to go through that farm. Helper D has not completed the task. Helper D's like my kids. They can't see anything for what's right in front of them. I was like, hey, pick that thing up off the floor. What? I don't see anything. It's right below your feet. What? I don't see anything. Speaking of helper D, what is up with the enhanced helper AI menu for Farm Sim 19 or 22? What could it mean? What could it be? Look, helper D, there's a whole bunch of crop over here. I don't know. There's been lots of speculation. Some people thinking it might be Courseplay Lite type functionality. Some people hoping it might be Auto Drive Lite functionality. I think it's a bit more benign than that. I think it's more like you can name your helpers. I think you can pick your helpers. Maybe choose the number of helpers. Maybe you can pick the appearance of your helpers. But only time will tell. We just don't know yet. Yeah, it'd be really interesting if it was Horseplay like or Auto Drive like. In that at that point, you know, it would be kind of close to on par with a feature that the seemingly now defunct Cattle and Crops had, where you could tell it, hey helper, take this piece of machinery, go to that field and do this job. And then you would see the driver do it. You wouldn't have to take the driver out to the field, point him in the right direction and say, go to it. So that would be nice. It would be interesting to see if that would be implemented, what that would be involved with as far as map makers to fully implement it on their maps. But I think it's a bit less exciting. I think we'll be able to name our hired helpers, maybe list how many we want, like 1 through 6 or 1 through 10 or whatever. I think we might be able to select if we want our helpers to look a particular way. That's what I think it might be. So it will be planned for all platforms when it does release. It's definitely a possibility, right? Maybe you can hire a helper. Maybe they cost money to have, right? So maybe you have to hire a helper and it costs you so much money because we have seasons built in, right? So the idea of a game year is built in. Maybe for every helper we hire, we have to spend so much money per year to keep them. And therefore, the more helpers you have available, then the more money it's going to cost you per year to have them on your staff. That would be interesting, for sure. Be like, well, I'm just starting out, so I really need somebody, but I can only afford, you know, the cheap helper, which maybe isn't so smart, isn't so good, or maybe they can only do select tasks. Or I can only afford one helper, so when that helper's in use, I can't hire a second helper to do another job. because I don't have them, you know, on my payroll. That would be interesting. What are you all hoping it is? That would be, oh yeah, that would be good. You could send them off to training. I want to send you off to ag school. Maybe when they're off to ag school, they're not available to work for you. And when they come back, maybe they have new skills. At this point in time, that's part of the fun, is speculating and then seeing how right or how wrong you may have been in the end. Well, I'll have to see. Have to see. There's still a few things that they haven't really told us about. The enhanced AI helper menu is one of them. The other thing is a mysterious multiplayer feature that they kind of teased during a FarmCon session, but didn't really give much more information beyond that. They kind of alluded that there was going to be some more in-depth animal care, but really no details beyond that. So what exactly does that maybe mean? This is one of those Farmers Dynasty, Farmers, one of those. It's interesting. We've had an interesting number of agriculture-related games that just haven't taken off. Some of those games had tried to do a bit of a story mode to them, and I don't know. Some of the game, like Farm Manager, that takes more of a that's more of a management game where you plop the buildings down and just kind of manage it at a high level. Hire your workers. But I like this entrance. We can get in. We get in and out with a big header. Not too much problems. Shape is this field. nice irregular shaped fields, realistic shaped fields, because this is taken from a real life area. I'll just have to see, right? I don't know. There's plenty of time. We got 99 days, 98 days between now and FS22. So, depends on how much you play, how hard you play. I'm going to do a little tip to ground. I wanted to leave some windrow just to make sure we don't have any issues there. Open up this side of the field, since we can't cheat through the hedge any. Yeah, it just depends on, what else you got going on. Are you running multiple saves on other things? How much time you put toward any one particular save? Although this might be an interesting map thing on how you do your survival stuff, because the whole premise of new farmer mode is you start out with the BGA and a grass field. And that's what you in at the start. And all the equipment you have to work with is leased. So it's going to cost you money while you work it. So while you earn the money, you're spending money on the leasing fees. And all of that jazz. So you've got to earn enough money ultimately to be able to replace the leased equipment with owned equipment, and then you're going to need to continue to make the money so that you can then buy farmland to then get back to traditionally farming. But if you want, you could do farm manager or start from scratch. And at that point, you don't own any land. You don't have any equipment. None of it is leased. So then you have 3 or 4 different farms to pick from to get going with. You just have to figure out what your starting money would be. It's a nice assortment of starting equipment. just want to see how far off am I on my lines. Oh, well, it might be interesting to dabble with leasing. Leasing introduces a whole different economic aspect to your gameplay, because the more you use something, the more it costs. So you have to not only earn enough money to pay off or pay back your leasing fees, but you also have to earn enough money to continue being profitable. We did a multiplayer challenge way back in January, I think, on No Man's Land, where the teams had to lease everything. They couldn't own any machinery. And it was really just an experiment to see how profitable could you be with only ever leasing your equipment. And I have to say, we were significantly profitable. Tell you what, I did not realize that this field was barley. I guess I did unload. I guess I did empty. Whoops. I guess I did empty this before I came over here and started harvesting. Yeah. A lot of content creators play on easy mode because it keeps the money rolling in. And they feel that unless they're constantly changing up vehicles and machinery, then viewers will get bored and lackluster and move on. I prefer to play pretty much on hard economy and make you work for it. Figure out how to get out of here. Oh, I got wheat. Oh my. That's a nice price. Where is it? To the south. Oh, it's to the south. Okay. We'll go down this way. Kind of snake through the countryside to get down here. Realistic fuel mod and then add slower refueling. Guys on a server hate me for that. We're gonna have to go first person to see through these trees. And here we go. We're gonna ford a river. That's what I want to see. I want to see water splashing in 22. Ready, set. Oh, yeah. Yeah, slower refueling. This map is Seasons Ready with a Seasons mask. Also, it is Precision Farming prepared with a custom soil map. Still don't see the green beam. There it is. Oh, there it is. It's faint. See it now. I have to say, this is probably one of my most favorite features of the map. An animal dealer with live animals. Hey, what are you doing? I'm running on the wrong side of the road. Oh, wait. Why is everybody running on the wrong side of the road? Can't we all just get along and drive on the right? Go in here. Traffic is fast. We established yesterday. Runs about 45 miles per hour. Whatever that translates to the other unit of measurement. Oh, no. Trailers with steering axles should be outlawed. Ah, I chose well with my trailer. Now let's head back. Zach, what is up? Welcome to the stream. We get a view of the map from ground level. Give you a nice overall feel for how the land lays. But yeah, animated cows at the animal dealer, top notch right there. Ah, busy day, busy day. But don't work too hard. Man, a busy road. So we're gonna make our way up to town. Of course, we came through the back way. I want to come up through a different way. Waylon and Timlick, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Really nice set of bridges here. Some additional features will be coming. No, we go up one more, I think. Oh, of course. Bergman supports seasons. Now there is a posting over on LS Farming Mods website on their forum about what you should change if you're going to run seasons because of how they incorporated goat's milk. And if you make that change, then you're good to go. But the short of it is that they kind of cheated, and goats make milk through goat slurry, so you have to make a little tweak to the seasons files to make it work right. But there should be a post over there on how to do it. There are XML files in the download in a seasons folder that may already have that change in it. Well, that was that sell point. I want to go to some others. Now we're putting barley in. What's the best place for barley? See, the best place for barley is at county stores. Gonna go to county stores next. Where's that at? See, county stores is, well, down there too, just over the other side. All right, it's down by that fuel station. See, we took the back road route, forded the river, and then picked up and went down the road this way. And then we came back up the main road, around, down, and over. UTB the man, how are you doing today? So we've got this field of barley. That is sunflowers. Canola. Canola along the river. Oh, I bet you that's pretty. Lots of grass. I'd say, what, a third of the map is grass? It goes well, ETB man. It goes well. Those that like to stay up late, or those who are in a different time zone, we might be streaming later tonight in about 4.5 hours. We might be firing up another stream. Just have to see if the server is ready to go or not. So far, we've found it fairly manageable even to get in and out of fields with this big harvester. I don't think we're going to have the same luck on every field, because I have seen some fields with kind of double gates, and I think double gates might be a little difficult to get in with the header attached, and depending on if we have kind of turnaround zones within the field at the gate, might have to trample on some crop to get in there. But so far everything seems to be well positioned to get around, even with big harvesters and header trailers. Fields are rather interestingly organically shaped. This one's real interesting, 33. But they follow a real life area, so that field is that shape in real life. I'd be interested if GBModding is still around to comment on choosing this particular location. What went into choosing the Attingham Park area. And then also, if you want to play Hofbergman with precision farming, I think they have a precision farming edit over on their site. Also, because of course Hofbergman has compost, and with precision farming you have to put within the mod itself the values if you have additional fertilizer methods, they have to go in the precision farming mod, whereas the crop requirements are defined in the map. Ah, Zach, that is it. Classy all the way. But don't expect our Classy to try to save anybody from a train. I wanted to go with this because it was a big harvester, and I figured let's try the extremes for getting around on this UK map. So I'll hire a helper and go check out the next sell point. See what it's like. I think we have to back into that one too. So some people might not be all that excited about sell points you have to back into. Get this guy lined up and send him on his way. I think we do have a field exit down here. Be able to grab that. Ah, nice. Couple field exits. Oh, thank you, for that. It was different, right? Took a little bit to get your head around. I studied the XML a bit to get a little bit of an idea on what it really did, or what it was supposed to be doing. Alright, time to ford the river again. Did y'all check out the map that came out on Friday? It was Valley View and Fechtelberg or something like that. As I said in my video, Fechtelberg was kind of a blast from the past. It's a map that was out early in 17. I think a lot of people played it in 17 because it was one of the earlier mod maps. Conversions seem to be done fairly well with respect to the whole spirit of the of how the map looked. I thought there might be a gate up here, but oh well. Yep, definitely. It is a. Let's just back into the field a little bit. It's definitely a ploy that map makers can do to make their maps feel bigger by making the road network set up in such a way that you have to drive around the outsides or double back. Give you a sense of longer drive time. But also like that there's multiple ways to get around. So as you play the map, as you discover more ways to get around, you can become more efficient with getting around. Just like if you were new to an area, initially you take the main roads to get everywhere. Then slowly you learn about back roads and side streets to shorten the trips. Around and around we go. Where we come out, no one knows. Oh, take out the brickwork. Sunrise Bakery, you're coming up next. Oh, we didn't even have to go through the circle. We could have just went right here. Of course, we would have been positioned wrong. We would have had a more difficult time backing around. Oh, traffic adjusts speed based on what road it's on. It's still moving along at a pretty good clip. As long as the traffic isn't suicidal and just completely takes you out without you being able to do anything about it. Here we go. Oh, it's a little further up here. Oh, I just love the dirt tracks on the river. So tasty. Yeah, that's why I was thinking harvesting this field would look really nice because it's down here by the river. Nice scenic view. sheep pasture over here to our right. Another way of getting in. Yeah, right here. Sneak on in. Indeed, Matt. Again, the map does look nice. So, where's Sunrise Bakery? Oh, it's also down south. Lots of sell points down south. Old Watermill is the and the hotel. The Old Watermill does take barley. They don't pay so good. They're cheapskates. So I want to hit all 4 of the main sell points. I'm going to show them off to you as far as actually selling grain. PMR prices. Right here, Livestock Farm. Right here, we're looking at one of the farms that's on the map. It is a pig farm and horse farm. It includes a silo, lots of different outbuildings for vehicle and implement storage, custom textured buildings, custom buildings. Lots of variability. I think it's one thing I hope we see more of in FS22 and less of in FS22 is more new buildings, new building textures, and less of the buildings that we have seen kind of rehashed over the last 3 or 4 game versions. Because I think with the new visual improvements with respect to the parallax occlusion, it's going to be really evident to players when you're looking at a building that truly has a flat texture and a building that has the perceived depth that parallax occlusion brings. And as we talked about at the start of the stream, the texture streaming capability of FS22 is really going to allow map makers and mod makers to use 4K textures, 8K textures, or even higher resolution textures because the textures are only going to be streamed in as you're needing them. So larger textures can be used. And those low texture buildings from FS 13, 15, and 17 are really going to become massive eyesores. Sean, welcome to the stream. This field's turned out pretty good. Denzel, thanks for subscribing, buddy. Let's give everybody a big old round of applause for Denzel. Denzel, if you're in chat, go ahead and say hey. We would love to give you our appreciation back. I think some that are capable of doing that hopefully may. Although, you know, we've seen in maps in 19, we've seen really nice texture 19 buildings right next to FS 13 buildings that just look atrocious. And, you know, if they were able to retexture those buildings, then you'd think that maybe people would have done that, but they didn't. All right, Ken, thanks for dropping by. Maybe we'll check you out on another stream. Oh, Denzel, I'm doing great. How are you doing? And thank you for the sub. We know you have a choice of who you subscribe, and we thank you for subscribing to the channel. Oh, the course heading is just giving us a little bit of not quite on the money. Okay, we're lining it up. There we go. Luis Hernandez. Saw your first message. You must have went out, came back later. Welcome to the stream. Alright, off we go. Time to check out the next sell point. Seems like we're going to figure out how to get down to the southwestern edge of the map pretty quick. We're going to need to be doing that enough. Oh, low stir. I think there is someone working on it. I have seen video of a rudimentary water wiping off of a windshield. I think it's a evolution that will come to hopefully the base game at some point. You know, we've got working wipers now in 19. They were not wipers. We did not have working wipers in 17 other than select mods that basically had that functionality. So now that we have working wipers in 19, we have enhanced sounds in 22 of wipers. So it seems to me the evolution would be to have actual water drop on a windshield that get wiped away at some point. And to that end, I have seen a modder working on a mod that does do that. It was fairly rudimentary at the time, but basically we would see water drops on a windshield, and when the wiper passed, they would go away. I think that's also coming at some point. Yeah, wet ground. I think maybe the evolution of that is that we have seasons built in, and as such, there's going to be, you know, a form of a seasons mask in 22. So having wet ground up here would be, I think, contingent on having the game in such a way that it knows where the ground is protected or not from rain, i.e. a seasons mask. So, I mean, hey, it might even be in 22, we just don't know. Right? It might not be a feature they even talked about. So far, all the sell points have been manageable. They have not been super simple drive-through, but they've all been manageable, even with fairly long trailer like this is. It's one of the reasons why I chose this trailer. It was a fairly long trailer. It was one that tipped vertically. So I wanted to just, you know, have a frame of reference for the clearance for tipping, as well as getting in and around with something that isn't necessarily short and stubby. Well, did they talk about contracts in FarmCon at all? Do I remember something about maybe them saying that contracts were still being worked on? Maybe there will be something new and enhanced with respect to contracts we just don't know about yet. So much unanswered questions. "98 days later, we'll know without a shadow of a doubt what is and isn't in the game," right? Yeah, we're not going to have time to harvest this canola field, but boy, that would be a scenic harvest in autumn with the trees changed. How about if we had water that, you know, wasn't just a plain water that reacted when you drove through it? That way you don't have dirt tire tracks sitting on top of water. That'd be nice to see. Now, it looked like there was some breaks in the fence here. I want to see if I can sneak through. See? Oh, look at this detail. So we got our fence here, and then the fence got messed up. Help a rep busted my fence. Nice, that was cool. I like that area. Twisted, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? We're going to finish the stream out. We're going to finish this field. And then we're going to take our barley and take it to the last sell point. And that is the old water mill. And it is right over here. I don't know if you can see the green beam that is right under the D in days. So it is the only sell point for our crops up here to the north. All the other sell points are in the southwest. Okay. Well, we'll just not worry about this little grip of bearded barley. What do y'all think of the planting, or should I say the drawing of grapes and olives in FS22? I have to say I'm super stoked when I saw that you can draw the fences. You know, no more plopping one fence section down, then another fence section down, trying to get them all lined up. How about we just put our fence? I want fence to start here. I want the fence to run over to there, and build it, make the fence work. I'm super stoked that it looks like we're going to be able to have base game silos that we use like we have here in the US, where we have to fill them from the top with an auger. Super stoked about that. I really like to play maps that have grain bins like that. It'll be interesting to see if they allow us to put in Farming Sins joining the channel. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Welcome to the channel. I tell you what, I saw your message there, and I thought to myself, I've not seen that name with a badge before. Maybe he joined off stream, and then bam, there's the notification. So yeah, I like seeing that. We're not sure. Hopefully, I really hope it'll be cool that if we can have grain silos that only take one crop and one crop at a time. Because obviously in real life you can't put but more than one crop in a single silo. You can't mix crops. So that would be nice to see. Seems like there overall is a drive to a little bit more of the simulation aspect in 22. Which for some is nice to see, others not so much, but hopefully it can still be a game enjoyed by many. Oh. Luis Hernandez has multiple personalities. 4. How many points is that? That's like a bajillion points. Electrical. Oh, man. You're introducing all kinds of animal lovers there. Be like, that's cruel. Sneak through our busted fence. We gotta get helper H out here to fix the fence they broke. So here we have the silo. And I just want to see what this silo takes. This is a retextured version of the horse barn on Ravenport. So we have wheat, barley, oat, canola, sunflower, soybeans, corn, potatoes, sugar beets, sugarcane, mixed rations, chaff, wood chips, silage, grass, hay, straw, manure, pig food, onions, carrots, back to wheat. So pretty much everything this harvester makes. Do we have carrots? Oh, that's a field I put carrots in. Yeah, I put carrots in that field. Oh. Don't mind me, Mr. Horse. Don't mind me. I'm just coming through. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me. Trying to make a shortcut. Don't escape, horsey. Don't escape. So there's a building back here behind the church that's been retextured, as an example, as well as the horse enclosure. Sunset. On the map. A fairly decent map boundary work in here. So yeah, look for this map sometime in the coming weeks. GBModding looks to finalize it and hopefully get it up to Giants by the end of this coming week. And then at that point, it is just a matter of time on... oh, look at that. Just a matter of time for going through the approval process. I like these signs. Like them a lot. Like them a lot. Like them a lot. Oh, well, thank you, tunes. They are from Stream Beats. Free audio. There we go. This is the easiest sell point of all. Just pull on in. Down here at the old mill, where we have the old mill, right here. Take a walk down to the water's edge. Look, checking out the sunset. So guys, that is going to do us for the day. I want to thank you for coming out and watching. I want to thank GBModding for giving me the great privilege of showing this map off for you guys, getting an early look at it. So it's going to help make my map video a lot easier to do. Won't have to do as much prep and exploration. I've already explored and got things somewhat figured out. So until next time, happy farming.